Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. How are you guys doing? Of course, if you just noticed there, the OG Uncle Sharma logo branding. If you guys remember the Dragon Ball Z style cartoon, if you know the OG followers of the channel, first couple of years, well actually only until recently when we changed it, thanks to one of our friends of the channel. I used to be the branding kind of that cartoon, style like Dragon Ball Z, and that intro was an ode to that. And of course, that is because of the passing away of Akira Toriyama, the legendary creator of the manga Dragon Ball Z. I know maybe not all of you guys have watched it or grew up with it, but I did. It was a very big part of my childhood. And Serie A, the official Serie A Twitter and Instagram tweeted or posted this image, raised by Calcio and Dragon Ball, and that is perfectly representation of me. I grew up watching Calcio, but before I really started watching Calcio properly, when I was growing up in Italy. If you guys are not familiar, I grew up in Italy. Dragon Ball was massive in Italy. Me and my friend Fabio was my best friend at the time. He used to live across the road from me. We used to watch this every single day. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, all of those, and then of course our dose of daily culture. So decided to start the stream in a slightly somber mood, but also celebration. It's not, we're sad about Akira Toriyama's passing, but the legacy that he's left behind is great. So rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. But let's begin how we usually start. Oh my goodness. Oh, even negative FC in the house are convinced that the Scudetto is ours. But let's begin the proper way. E se ne va, la capolista se ne va, la capolista se ne va, la capolista se ne va, e se ne va. It's every single week, as I said, until we win the Scudetto. And when we win the Scudetto, that is the way to start the stream, because this Inter team keeps on going. They keep on just beating up every single team in this league. Inter 1, Bologna 0. 13 wins out of 13, guys. 13 wins out of 13 in all comps. It's just a crazy, crazy streak that we are on at this moment. We're an absolute machine. I do not remember an Inter team. I don't think even the Triplete team went on a streak like this. I would like to see some stats behind that. But speaking of, previous Inter, apologies for the burping. Look at where we are, guys, in terms of comparison to previous Inters. Only Roberto Mancini's 2006-07 Inter can compare to this. And of course, that Inter, you have to keep in mind context. That was the season without Juve, because of course they were relegated. Milan, our main competition, were weakened, of course, by their own actions, or whatever you want to say. But if you put it into context, that was the context of that Inter super stacked Roberto Mancini Inter team did it in, and we are right there with that team at the moment. The second ever Inter side to reach 75 points after 28 games. This is the absolute crazy moment that we are in. But anyway, let me, before I get into all the screenshots and everything, for I rewatched the game today. I missed it yesterday live, or I watched the first 20-30 minutes, but as I said in my preview, I had to go for some family related things, so I missed most of the game. But then I rewatched it today, and it was a nice watch. But let me go into your comments before we get into all of that. Gandalf, who predicted a BISSECK man of the match on Friday, and lo and behold, we got a BISSECK man of the match yesterday. So shouts out to you, Gandalf, for that. And we also got a lovely goal for Jan Bisseckenbauer, as some Inter fans are calling him. Sharif, best stream to end the week. Yes, beautiful way to end the week. It's been this year, every week has been a good week for Interisti, hasn't it? We've barely had bad weeks in 2024, but also the start of or the end of 2023. Two defenders combined for that goal for us. Yeah, it's, as they call it in Italy, the il terzo to terzo, the third defender to the third defender. So we've seen go wing back to wing back, but now we're seeing centre back to centre back. Yeah, this Inzaghi ball is just different level at the moment. Kirby spitting some bars, I believe. I mean, I looked it up quickly, Kirby, because I had no idea. This brother sometimes just comes in and puts in some lyrics, and this was from the Hangover movie when the guy on the piano, he's singing that song in the Hangover movie, and you see the tigers like eating something. So yeah, I'm not. If you can explain what your context, are you saying that we're the tigers in this league and we're eating up the mauling the zebras, Kirby? Because you explained to us. Lucretius, what's good? Mike Ma in the house. What's up, brother? Hope you are doing well. Nick Knox grinding out another game where I thought we'd drop points. Love this team. Yeah, same. I mean, if you guys watch my preview, I thought, and again, I mean, I think I predicted against Lecce, but this team just keeps proving me wrong, which is absolutely fine. I was like, come on, we've got the Atletico game. The rotation is heavy. Bologna are in great form. They've kind of become our bogey team, but no, it doesn't matter. Any context that you throw at this Inter team, they just roll over it. They were just like, big rolling pin, boom, just squashing every single opposition this year. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. And yes, Daniel GM, hope you're doing well. At the moment, we are 16 points clear thanks to Atalanta today drawing with Juve, and Milan are actually now second. So all season we've been worrying about Juve, and I thought it was going to be Juve because of their one game a week. But now for the moment, Milan are back in the driving seat. They're the challengers at the moment. It was funny actually. If you're part of the Discord chat, Nick Knox was, as I was joking, Mattia, who was like, head captain alongside Anthony from Inter Worldwide of, Negative FC or, Cautiousness FC, and even they have admitted that, we've got the Scudetto on the wrap or just done and dusted. But Nick Knox was, still, I think, very damaged Inter fan who's not ready to, fully give into the fact that this Scudetto is ours now. Ahmad, my brother, hope you're doing well. We've got revenge against every team. We've dropped points against this season. Only one left is Sassuolo. Very good point. Yeah, revenge. I mean, yeah, there's not many teams to get revenge on, really, is there? This season, not many teams have just been able to get one up on us. But yeah, we've got our revenge on Bologna for the draw at the beginning and also getting us out of Coppa Italia. Now we need to get Sassuolo, who are at the moment the only stain on this Inter team this season. Sassuolo, Berardi, and those bastards who might even get relegated now. They're the only stain left on this Inter season. So yeah, we definitely need to. We might be the ones to secure their relegation, which I know a lot of Inter fans are keen to do. What's about La Grande Inter? Wow. Okay, in terms of stats and all that, but White Suburban Kid, to be called La Grande Inter, you have to do, what, Helenio Herrera's Inter did, winning the Champions League, or what the trouble team did under Mourinho. That's when you get to Grande Inter. If you're just getting a Scudetto and putting up all these numbers, you're a Grande Inter, like Grande means big, like a good or big Inter, but La Grande, like La is like, the La Grande Inter, like singular, referring to that season. So they could be, La Grande Inter, or are they just a Grande Inter, one of the many Grande Inters? We'll have to see and find out what we do in the Champions League as well. Only wins all 2024, best team in the world right now. And yeah, again, it's hard not to be biased. It's hard not to be, too focused on your own team and what the team that we watch all the time. But I watched Liverpool, Man City today. I watch a lot of Premier League. I watch Champions League. I don't see a better team in world football right now. The only one I keep saying is just because Leverkusen are still unbeaten, even in the Europa League. They almost lost a few days ago, but they're still unbeaten this whole season. That's the only team. And in terms of the style of play, what Xabi Alonso is doing, Leverkusen, I'm just, saying, in terms of form-wise, power ranking wise, but actually the way we're playing, Inter and then Arsenal last few months as well. Arsenal have been on an absolute tear. The way they're dominating games in the Premier League, though, but then in the Champions League they lost to Porto. So I'm really, again, without being completely biased, but yeah, that's the thing. We can say as Inter fans now because of what we're doing in Serie A, but we just need to show that in Europe, you know how it works. Your work is discredited unless it's done by in the Premier League. That's where it matters. If you don't do it in the Premier League, then it doesn't exist. Robbo, what a season for the ages. All credit due to Marotta, Inzaghi, and the lads. I'll never forget this run. Yes, guys, that's one thing I talked about this when we were in the Conte Scudetto winning season, and reminder from Rob as well. Just enjoy it, guys. We go out through so many ups and downs as fans, of course, the personal lives as well, but as Inter fans, we've been through some turbulent times. So always make sure to enjoy the ups. When the ups are here, enjoy them as much as you can. If you can, go to a game in Milan, try your best to go. Well, I'm a bit of a hypocrite on that because I haven't been for a few years now, but yeah, try your best to go, or watch it in some sort of inter club, like wherever you are locally, if you can. Just try to make the most of it, or even if you can't do that, like try to make a little celebration out of it, a little get together with friends or family, whatever you can, because it deserves it. This Inter team really does deserve it, and then you never know how long these good times can last. And because we saw after the Conte Scudetto winning season, literally 2 days, we enjoyed the Scudetto for 2 days, and it was cut literally short. The celebration was cut short with all that stupid drama going on off the pitch, which now it took us, if we had to watch Milan lifting the cup on our face and watch Napoli lift the cup on our face, then now, 3 years later, we're here finally to do it again. Kerr Mafia in the house. Kerr Mafia in the house. Hope you're doing well, Debbie. And Ian, trouble season Roma was after us until the last 3 rounds. Yeah, that kept us, on our toes all the way. And that was the thing with that tripleta season. It was like, yeah, everything was kind of secured all the way to the end. I mean, I wouldn't even say until the last 3. Oh yeah, you mean like right until the end? Yeah. Because remember the Milito away in Siena to secure the Scudetto. It was, everything was right until the end in that tripleta season. Obviously, it's going to be very, very different for us this time around. Bobby Marley, straight domination. He says any team being 16 points clear at any point in the season before, to be honest. Maybe, I don't know. It was with Napoli that I think Napoli was pretty, comfortable last year. I'll have to look back, but yeah, probably not. But I remember Napoli's the gap was very, very big last season because Lazio finished second, right? I mean, Lazio weren't even in the, at least, Juve were at least in some sort of title. Last year, there was no title race at all. We were kind of up until like January. Remember, we beat Napoli in January last year. They came to San Siro. Dzeko scored the 1-0 goal. And I think we were the first team to beat Napoli that year. And that was kind of a half-hearted, at least, attempt to a Scudetto race. But at least this year, like, Juve were keeping up with us up until, like, a month ago, 2 months ago. It was, blow for blow almost. But now, yeah, so comfortable. I really hope we go through in the Champions League because this season will end up quite boring. Yeah, that's one danger as well. And I think that's what happened to Napoli last year, where after like March, April, all of the guys just completely dipped because that motivation was gone, and then they lost to Milan in the Champions League. So that's important to keep that concentration levels high. Aris Bastoni, hope you are doing well. Yeah, Fiorentina are playing Roma at the moment, and it is 2-1 to Fiorentina. I have no horse in that race. Lads were in all the Inzaghi tattoos. Yeah, I mean, I heard Anthony from Inter Worldwide. He was saying he's going to get a tattoo to probably get, the second star represented, or I don't know, something. I'm whipping up something, like the T-shirt design. Like, I've got the Limone Ball, Enjoy Limone Ball T-shirt. At this time, I'll release it properly, like not just like, off Everpress. I'll do it like a, proper available at all times whenever you want it type of thing I'm not going to be doing like a limited release thing. And yeah, I'll launch something. I'll launch a t-shirt properly, but I need to get like a nice, good design to represent the second star, or something we talk about on the channel, which is mission second star. We talk about those types of things. We've already done Limone Ball, but those types of things that represent the channel. I'm never going to do like a t-shirt that's got like my face on it or something like that. But yeah, it's like a Uncle Sharma channel t-shirt. But obviously, it's not about me. It's about the team and Inter. But I'm definitely going to be whipping up something. Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Just enjoying this Inter, and of course, that's going to be the question for this summer. As damaged Inter fans, we have been damaged by our financial situation, but let's not talk about that now, Aris. Come on, bro. Let's not talk about that now, because we don't actually. Again, I might have to bring out the Excel sheet out, the famous Excel sheet. But I think it's going to be like last summer, where we don't have to sell anyone. But at the same time, if we want to buy, we have to sell to buy. Basically, that's the situation at the moment, because financially we're in a good spot. The losses, last year we made around 80 million in losses. I think this financial year is going to be a lot less. Predictions are around 30 to 40 million loss, which is still a lot, but by Inter standards, that's quite good. Or some people are even saying that depending on how much plus Valenza, how far we go in Champions League, we might even end up almost breaking even, which is crazy. But to make moves to buy substantial investment players, you might have to sell a few pieces here and there. But I don't think there's going to be that type of thing where we have to sell someone. We might lose to them again at the end of the season, because they might need that game long we play kids. Yeah, maybe. When are we playing Sassuolo? Is it like one of the last few games? If it is, then yeah, we're probably gonna have to play Primavera. Oh yeah, thank you, Mattia, for reminding the people, as always, don't forget to like the video. Love Dragon Ball Z, rest in peace Toriyama, 100%. Barzellette, what's up? What a glorious weekend. Juve in the mud and Inter keep marching on. Forza Inter to all my brothers around the world. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think that's Nick, right? If I remember you've got a weird username. Who saw the Inter Legend highlights? Actually, I wanted to do like a reaction to that. I might still do it, because I haven't watched the highlights to it. So I might do like a reaction to that. Bastoni and Bisek were great yesterday. Yeah, definitely. Probably both of the man of the match. Well, Bisek was man of the match, but as in Bastoni also deserves a shout. Language Store says, I'm getting an Inter badge on a leg with 2 stars in the place for a third. Hey, he's saving that place. I mean, you might have to wait for a long time for that. But he's saving that place for when he's probably, a granddad and Inter maybe do it by then. Nice. It seems like it's a theme. It seems like maybe a few people are doing this. Debbie says, Shams collaborating with a little on a design. I'll print it on Tumblr. Ooh, are you a designer, Debbie? I didn't know. Interesting. Might have to whip something up, Debbie. Maybe I'll contact you. Yeah, if you are, if that's what you do, if you do some design, might have to. I'll get in touch with you. Denzel is going, what's up? Yeah, but again, Bobby Marley, it depends on actually, the offer. Denzel's supposed to have been gone since we've signed Denzel. He's always been the chosen one, so to say, to leave. But I don't think we've ever gotten a concrete offer for Dumfries. But yeah, he's still my, choice if we had to sacrifice someone. Brother should get a sponsorship from Microsoft with all the times we bring out the Excel sheet. That's true. That is true. I don't even like Excel like that, but yeah, I should be getting some what's it called? Royalties. Sharif says getting a Kid Goku on his own. Wow, that is cool. I'm not a tattoo guy, and I'm completely tattoo free, and probably I'm just too much of a wussy to get a tattoo. But yeah, that does sound. Oh, why is this out of focus? Hello. There you go. But yeah, that does sound like a really cool tattoo. I've seen those Dragon Ball Z tattoos that do look good. It's great assurance. We to know we won't need to sell. Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing, though, isn't it, Shanyo? It's like last year we didn't need to sell, and then the offer for Onana came, and it was too hard to turn down, which we were all really crying about. Or like, I was just moaning that we should have got maybe a little bit more money, and then now it hasn't really worked out for Onana. But if an offer comes to Thuram, he's got that release clause in his contract, 95 million, according to reports in his contract, Thuram, and the way he's performing. A team like PSG or one of the big Premier League teams would like to waste money. They could activate that. You don't know. And then you go from a place where you don't need to sell, but then you get that massive offer and it's the release clause, and Thuram gets tempted by the double, triple salary or whatever, and then you have to dip in, but then you've got that money again to invest. So it depends on those types of things. You can never predict the transfer window like that, but we're not. Yeah, the nice thing is now we don't need to try to sell some big players, and then we see what we can do. Denzel will start against Atletico to boost his transfer fee. Well, I don't know. Inzaghi's really preferring Matty Doms, especially in the big games. No transfer talk until the end of the season, please. Just enjoy the season. I agree, Matty. I agree. Transfer, especially now, is just going to be whipping up just random rumors anyway. Hey, Simi, hope you're doing well, brother. Focus on UCL now. Yeah, 100%. Of course, don't take Serie A lightly, but we can rotate a lot more, though. It worked very well. Yeah, that's the thing now. Guys, let's get into the game now as well. I think I've seen lots of stuff written about, the game and stuff, but let me just bring up the FOT mob. Where is it? Italia Serie A. And then let's go matches. There you go. Look at this lineup. And every time, Lecce, we rotated. Salernitana, we kind of, rotated as well. But even rotated into teams now do the job. It's so, Inzaghi has this team so well drilled now, and that's, this is the advantage. As Inter fans, we haven't seen a coach stay this long. As we said, this Inzaghi is the longest standing coach at Inter since Roberto Mancini. He's going to complete 3 seasons at Inter, which is a long time at Inter. But that's the advantage, that you can have someone that's been here, coach these players. How many pre-seasons has he done now? 3 pre-seasons with these guys. So many sessions, training sessions, drills, fitness. The fitness team, they know the players inside out now. They know when to rotate them, when to rest them. And it really doesn't matter now. It seems like who starts, who doesn't start, whether it's De Vrij for Acerbi, Bissek for Pavard, Bastoni, or Augusto Di Marco. Mkhitaryan is. I don't think we found the alternatives to Mkhitaryan yet. Or Inzaghi hasn't anyway. Hakan or Aslani. Aslani slandered, but every game he started recently, we won. Barella, Frattesi, Darmiano, Denzel, and then even Thuram or Sanchez. Now we can actually say that, because Sanchez and Arnautovic now have both stepped up to the plate recently. Lautaro or Arnautovic, we can say that now. Yes, it's a big drop off, but even when we rotated them, it's worked. And this is, a big shout to Inzaghi, because he's able to just get even the so-called rotational players with less minutes, and they're still able to just fit in, which is really hard to do. Yeah, and I hope to see Inzaghi really let go, and we want to see some Primavera players in that phase. Please, Inzaghi, please, we beg you. Yes, Nick, I hope you're doing well. Please give us your world famous Scouts impression. Hey, that's saved for when I'm making fun of the Prem-tards or spaces. I might get cancelled on my channel, Nick. I have to save that one for special occasions. Eduardo, what's up, brother? Hope you're doing well. Might want to get one by myself. Been wanting an Inter tattoo for a while. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, guys. Enjoy the highs whilst they're here. You don't know. This could be the last ever. God forbid, not. But you never know, guys. You saw what happened with COVID. It just came out of the blue, and then Suning were effed, and it's taken them so many years to recover, and they still haven't really. So you just don't know what could happen tomorrow. So yeah, get that tattoo, man. Just get it. Get the tattoo. get the second star tattoo, get whatever you want to do. Ask that girl out that you wanted to ask out, go travel to that country you wanted to travel. I don't know why I've gone to these topics, but existential. You never know what's happening tomorrow, guys. Live in the now. Live in the now. Maybe I need to start a motivational channel. Subsean, will you have a collab for Atleti match like you did with Rabona TV? No, at the moment I haven't got any plans for an Atleti collab. I mean, I'll do a preview, but I haven't invited. I would try to find an Atleti content creator, but I wasn't able to. I'm sure there is someone out there, but I just wasn't able to find someone. So yeah. Oh yeah, Eduardo. Yeah, Eduardo got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle kit, which does look good. And I like these little collabs Inter doing, thanks to Paramount. Dumfries the new gags every summer we want him to leave, but he stays. Well, it's a bit different, King Darian, because at least Dumfries, we know the interest is there. You're just not seeing that concrete offer. With Gagliardini, there was never interest. We just wanted him to leave. That's different. Dumfries is quite opinion splitting. I know there's still a lot of the fan base that likes him and wants to keep him. Gagliardini was just like 99% of the fan base wants him to go, and then you got guys like Nick Snox and my boy Nick Lato. You got 2 or 3 Gagliardini fans that want him to stay. Stanislav says, Lola, coming late to the party. I will start from the start, but I heard that next week in Torino will be -17 and in some parts of Milano. Yeah. Whew. Really, really cold. Really, really cold in some parts of Milano. And yeah, it's funny how that works, right? Stanislav is like at a Piano Gentile Inter headquarters, the temperature is fine. We're getting nice mild 16, 17 degree weather, but just a few minutes away from us on the other side of Milan, they're experiencing Arctic weather, and Torino as well. Interesting. I don't know, that global warming. The difference this year compared to the previous is bench, normal gags and the likes. Yeah, I mean, it's a massive difference. Massive difference. And also like hungry guys, like Fratesi is just like, yes, he was expensive, but this guy, he's coming in every time he comes in with that hunger, those goals off the bench, big performances. You got Haslani as well. He's hungry, ready to take in from Hakan. Yes, maybe sometimes he's been okay or not good enough, but still, like, you got, and he is a regista. You're not fitting in, a Vecino out of position or a Gagliardini out of position, or, trying to fit in other guys. You've got like an actual regista in there. You got an actual right centre mid in Fratesi to take over from Barella. You got a hungry beast that coming in who's like, just eager to learn. And even Arnautovic, you can, whatever you want to joke, but, you can see it means a lot to him, to Arnautovic, this whole move. Maybe it means too much to him, where we've seen it's going to be detrimental. Even Sanchez, maybe he's trying to prove a point that, I don't want to go to Saudi. I want to still be important in Europe. And Lautaro, obviously, is just, I think now recently, because maybe it's gone off the boil a little bit, Lautaro we forgot. But if you think about it, guys, like that's the real difference with this Inter this year. Of course, the defensive numbers are just out of this world. The clean sheets, the amount of goals conceded. But if Lautaro doesn't score those goals, that defending just leads to little nils, draws or whatever. But Lautaro taking that next step has allowed us to also be solid defense, because we know that we can be solid, and on the other end, something will happen. And you go, of course, Thuram with that hunger, those skills that we were missing, the pace, the dribbling, whatever Correa was supposed to be, Thuram was that. So there's lots of little mini differences, but yeah, the bench is definitely one of them. And yeah, I also saw that start Inzaghi is the coach that rotates the most this season in terms of I don't know if he rotates the most, but he's the one who's made the most substitutions. I believe that was the stat. That's what we need. Zielinski, Barella is not good on the left. He's too right for dominant. Yeah, well, I think he is good on the left, but yeah, he's just. I think if you play him over a period of time, because he's very good at cutting in from the right. But yeah, we saw yesterday, like he tried to force a Trivela cross for no reason, Barella on that side. But Frattesi's not even been tried on that side, so I don't know. I feel like Inzaghi on that one is there's a lot of rotation in this Inter team, but there's a couple of things where Inzaghi is very fixed with that I wouldn't mind seeing. See what Barella and Frattesi at the same time look like, or Frattesi on the left and Mkhitaryan on the right. Like I know obviously there's no need to change things around, but I'm saying like sometimes in terms of future squad building to try and round out Frattesi's game a bit more and Barella's game a bit more. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. Delinsky, we know, is pretty much 99.9% deal done, as well as Mehdi Taremi or Taremi, Mehdi Taremi from Porto. Uche, wow, very unexpected stream. Hey man, I do post-match streams, but yeah, no, I've not been as good the last few months. Bastoni crossing to BISSECK for a goal is peak Limoncello ball, 100%. And it's funny, so Inzaghi was talking Parolo, if you guys remember, the guy from Lazio, former Lazio player under Inzaghi. He's an analyst on The Zone. And a few months ago, they were talking about, are you offering something to the wing backs when they score a wing back to wing back goal? What's the reward for these guys? And I think Inzaghi said something along the lines like, I owe them a dinner and drinks or whatever. And yesterday, they asked him, what are you going to do now for the third, left centre back to right centre back goal? It really is peak. That is like Inzaghi ball now has peaked when the goal has come from the left centre back to the right centre back. That is the peak. What's left now is the central centre back passing or like assisting the goalkeeper. I don't know what else is left. That's the totality of this Inter team. It's not the end of the world, Shams. Look, my man just motivated me to confess to my crush that I like it. Yes, do it, Ahmed. We are all witnesses here. 58 people watching the stream live. Leave a thumbs up, by the way. 58 people watching you, Ahmed. You need to do it. Go and confess to you. I mean, you probably just lied there, but even if it was not you, Ahmed, anyone that's watching the stream, apply for that job. Travel to that country you want to travel to. Yeah, just do it. Whatever it is that you want to do, just do it, man. Lord God, some shade is coming my way. It is what it is, Nick Knox, bro. Like you are the community Gagliardini guy. Like it's just that's your rep. That's your rep. It's -11 here, so don't complain about the weather. Hey man, you Nordics, you Scandinavians, just that's the life you've chosen. That's your own fault. Like I've chosen life of rain and cloudiness in here in England. We're mentioning yeah, there you go. Nick Knox is like it's like a magic trick, like Gagliardini, and poof, Nick Knox arrives. Bigotelli, after seeing Mickey subbed in the 60, I knew he's focused on Atletico. Yeah, and that was 100% the right decision. And yeah, it looks like we've got a new sponsor for next year, BetSun. Again, speaking of Scandinavians, actually, it's a Swedish company, I believe. Betting company, which I'm not really too keen about, being associated. And, I'm not Muslim, but I know it's haram. But again, gambling, association, whatever. I was hoping Qatar Airways, would actually put in, apparently they only offered like 18 million per season or up to 20, which was not good. And apparently these BetSun guys offered 30. What? Keep going out of focus. 30 million a season, which is, what we were looking for, which was supposed to be what bloody stupid ass Digital Bits was supposed to be giving us. Digital shits. Just hope that these guys actually pay. That's what, and hopefully, like, visually it's nice. That's another important thing. But anyway, let's get. Oh my god, I've talked for 35 minutes, guys. Why has no one stopped me? Well, I guess maybe it was enjoyable. Let's get into it. No, I've accepted it, bro. Like, there's no point. I'm making fun of the people that are not accepting it now. Like, it's ridiculous. Some people are trying to deny it. Like, it's ours. The 2 stars are just in. in process of being stitched now. Just right there. I'm gonna have to get rid of this pillow. It's been a good companion. I bought this when I first started streaming like 4 or 5 years ago. But I'm gonna have to get a new one because this one's only gonna remind me of the fact that we've only got a 1 star on here. Well, actually, because it is a bit retro, I might have to keep it though. It's nice. Got that retro vibe. But I'm gonna have to get a new one. But anyway, let's get into the screenshots and the analysis of the match, guys. I know like it's Inter are kind of so good to watch that it's become boring now as well, isn't it, guys? Like life is so good as Inter fans that what's there to discuss? Like I'm doing this live stream, and is there anything that we haven't discussed, that we haven't talked about in terms of players, tactics, rotations? Like we've this Inter team is just so good, so good. Language says, will street celebration start after we're mathematically first? Probably yes. But if you're asking that in terms of trying to plan your Milan trip, language stores, I would say plan it to the last game. Or actually, I don't know if it was confirmed, but apparently Serie A might change the rules this time around, because usually they do the Scudetto, handing the official Scudetto ceremony, whatever, even if it's home or away, they do it on the last game of the season. So, like Napoli last year, was it Udinese, I think it was. Milan, I remember when they, beat us to it, was Sassuolo. And our last game of the season is stupid ass Hellas Verona, which is, awful stadium and awful fan base. So awful place in general to do it. But apparently our last game of the season is Inter Lazio, and apparently I think the rules are being changed, that the actual, because the Inter, would have already won it by then, they will actually do the ceremony on that. But I don't know if it's 100% confirmed. I saw Daniele Mari's tweet on it. But I would, if you're looking to go to Milano, I would definitely try to aim around for the Lazio game or the Hellas Verona that week there, rather than anytime soon. I'm not considering things, honestly. Yeah, I mean, of course, Anthony has, and a few others, his work this season, so you might as well just continue. I'll send you a yellow vinyl star, you can iron it on. Yeah, but it won't be central though, Debbie. That's the problem, isn't it? Because then it'll be like off center. It won't look nice. It has to be like, I know it's like a minute detail, but it needs to be like nicely centered, because he is always here. It's an important prop. Although you can't see it now because I'm on my standing desk, so you can't see it properly. But yeah, speaking of amazing stats, which is Inter team just keeps on churning out. No, actually, this wasn't the stat that I wanted to point out. This is Bologna stat, but this just showed how good this Inter team is. That Bologna this year are the team that wins points from losing positions. After Napoli, they're the team that won the most points in losing positions, and we managed to keep them out, keep a clean sheet against them at their home. Just another, amazing stat. You can put the star above or below that one. Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe OCD. That's the OCD. I mean, it's just it doesn't look that as nice. Bro, make a Limone shirt with 2 stars instead of eyes. For me, it will always be Limone. Yeah, same here. I like the Dimone. I like the Dimone name as well. But to me, it's always Limone Ball and Simone Inzaghi. That's the guy that I came to appreciate and love. But Dimone is also good. And then this is the next thing I want to talk about, which I think this is Thiago Motta gave Inter the best compliment that you can give a team, in my opinion, and he gave that yesterday to Inter, to Simone Inzaghi's Inter, which is this. So he said after the game, Inter are a very complex team because they know how to defend low, so defend deep. If we start throwing the ball into the area, we risk taking a counter-attack more than scoring goals. They have great physicality. When you go down against Inter, you risk a lot because on the counter-attack, they can close out the game in 2 changes of pace. Credit goes to Inter. They are strong. We have to just congratulate them. They have shown great strength once again. That is Simone Inzaghi's Inter. And as I said, I think that's the best compliment that you can pay. And I think Inzaghi probably appreciated that because that shows that this Inter team can face a multitude of teams, styles within a game. There's different ways that Inter can approach a game. And we've seen that within a game, Inter can start a game super aggressive, but then get a goal and completely change the way they play. Or be halfway in between those, be a bit more, be like, not super defensive, but not super attacking, kind of in a mid block with a good pressing structure, play on the counter attack, play in transition, or have 70-75% possession, kill your team, tiki-taka champagne ball, 4-5-0. And like yesterday, just edge out a 1-0 win with a solid defensive display. It's a complete team. It's a complete team. This is Simone Inzaghi's masterpiece. This is his machine. And I think Motta knows him. By the way, Motta as well. What a coach. What a well-coached team Bologna is. They did not make life easy for us. They did not make life easy for us. Limone evolved with Limone, guys. Sorry. Yeah, that is true. That is true. But I think, in the heart, it's still Limone. It's still Limone for me. And then the other thing I want to shout out as well, the men in this team, not the footballers, the men, the people behind these footballers. That's a big factor in this Inter, because Barella last week, if you guys remember, I still don't really think it was a penalty, the one that he won last week. He was accused of diving, and he talked about it. He said, "Can I say something else?" And I think I didn't watch the interview live. I'm getting off the Twitter quotes, but it seems like he chose to add this on at the end, and he said, in the match against Genoa, they accused me of being a simulator, which is, it's the translation from Italian is simulator just means diver. I made a mistake in my reaction, and when you make a mistake, you have to apologize. And so I want to apologize for that moment. When you're on the pitch, out of a desire to win, you do things that you don't want to do. And so I just wanted to apologize for that. Nicolo Barella, Capitano. Yesterday he was the captain, and that is, very captain-like behavior, and it's good to see. And I think we are starting to see a bit of growth from Barella finally as well. I don't recall now recently any kind of arm throwing and those, frustrating Barella type of behaviors. Maybe just because we keep winning, we'll probably see that as soon as we, draw or lose the game, we'll probably see that back. But yeah, I hope he is on that path, because he is, I always thought he was going to be when we signed him to be the inline, future captain, but his behavior never really matched up with it. So he was never actually my favorite. But when we originally signed him, I thought he was going to be on that path. And I still think, as being an Italian and, Interista and stuff, he should have been really. I think if he had a different type of character, I think he would have been ahead of Lautaro, to be honest, for that captaincy. But he just doesn't seem ready for it yet. But this type of things kind of gives me confidence that, he's growing. He's growing. We have a team, no drama. We got rid of all of that season. Much respect to Bari, 100%. A lot of the guys we got rid of last season, I wouldn't call them. I know, we like to make fun of Lakaka and all those guys, but whatever we did, the clean out from the dressing room definitely helped. There's a very good vibe, but they've gelled. The chemistry is just to the next level. The vibes are just, immaculate. Inzaghi's got these guys, gelled together as a team on and off the pitch. It's just so good to see. So good to see. And yeah, speaking of Inter, I mean, let me show you actually quickly something I saw again. My favorite Twitter account is back, as I mentioned in the preview, Calcio Datato. Let me show you something that they tweeted that shows what I was talking about. That Inter, within a game, we play 2 or 3 different styles within a game. This Inter is like a chameleon. We adapt to not just the team, to the situation, the scenario within the game. Like the team is so well coached that we're able to change our approach depending on what we are, seeing in front of us. So like the picture here shows, the first like 15-20 minutes, we did go out and press this Bologna team. We made life difficult. And this here is actually, we win the ball here because Christiansen is forced into a mistake. Thuram wins it back. And yeah, Barella, as Rocky Ferraro here says, should have scored his one-on-one chance, which is also, a bit of a weakness of his Barella. He's not very cool, ice cool in front of goal a lot of the times. Here he shoots straight at Skorupski, who does well to come out, but straight at Skorupski. But it all came from really good team pressing, Thuram winning it in there. But then, like after that, it became much less of a press. So you can see here, where is it? Yeah, so this graph here shows the average height of the defensive actions from Inter, and that shows it perfectly what I was talking about, because this tweet just came, I saw it just before I went live. So you see average height of Inter's defensive action between the start of the game and the 15th minute was 70 plus meters. So that means Inter were pressing high, but also winning the ball very high, whereas Bologna were the opposite. And then slowly it started to, go lower and lower, and you can see Inter just getting their defensive actions becoming, averaging around 40, 50, 30, 35 meters, getting much more deeper. And Bologna, on the other hand, starting to press much more high. So that was, the show. And then we knew that Bologna were also going to dominate possession. I mean, I thought it was going to be about 55. In my preview, I said I knew that Bologna would have more possession. But in the end, it was 60 to Bologna. And then this is also the most amount of balls that an opposition has touched in Inter's half. So in Bologna's attacking third, they touched 237, which is the most Inter have allowed this season against any team. So that shows, the type of game that Inter had to play, but also probably chose to play. So it's easy to have a good vibe when the team wins. It's also, that is, that's what I'm saying. Like with Barella, like, what I'm talking about, the arm throwing and things like that. We've not seen it recently, but we're winning. We won 13 out of 13 games in no competition. So when's the last time we, saw this team lose? So but yeah, it's easy when things are going well. Which is we're seeing in Napoli, everything was like last season, everything was going well. Kvara, MVP, Osimhen, Lobotka, that chubby Slovakian guy somehow is, becoming best midfielder in the league. And, Anguissa, who's never had like a season like that in his life. Everything was just going well. Di Lorenzo, amazing. Rahmani, we see what type of centre back he is now, and that was never his level, whatever level he was performing at last year. Meret never had a season like that in his life, the goalkeeper. And now, as soon as a few things go wrong in the summer and in the beginning of the season, boom, everything falls off. So winning does help with that. But at the same time, since the beginning of the season, it's felt like a different Inter. And then it wasn't it wasn't definitely a vintage performance from Inter by any stretch of the imagination. Hakan was back, which was good to see, but he also made a couple of mistakes in the build up to play here. Like, I don't want to be an armchair, what they call like armchair gaffer, or like, those guys that that's easy, I'll do that. It's easy shot, easy pass. But for a player of Hakan's level, who I think is the best midfielder in this league, very easy passing completely, gets his bearings wrong there, puts it out for a throw in. It was so off. Bissek. And we were making little mistakes like that were giving Bologna a bit of hope in the game. We weren't very clean with our passing at times. But really and truly, the Bologna never really created anything. If we look at the XG as well, which is another impressive thing by Inter, they really didn't let Bologna create too much. In the end, they had a 0.79 XG. We had 0.87. So again, even us, we didn't have too much. But we reduced them to a lot, and theirs is probably like just accumulation of like lots of shots. They had 19 shots, but most of them, because you can see from outside of the box, or just like, not very dangerous shots even inside. So theirs was just accumulation, whereas we only had 5 shots. That's the type of defensive solidity that we have. What was this one? So yeah, I was saying Ferguson. These are the type of shots that Bologna had to do. They couldn't get into a box, and that's, we're speaking of Motta and Zirkzee. I know that we all high on Zirkzee, Joshua Zirkzee, the striker for Bologna. Really, that's the type of footballer I love. Proper technical baller, but he spends most of his time around the box. Like, you barely ever see him, and Bologna had that problem yesterday. There was barely ever anyone in the box. It was easy for us to defend in the box because they only had like one. Like here, they got 2 guys. Ferguson shoots from outside the box, easy save for Sommer. But that's, if I had to like think, next step for Motta to take, this Bologna team, going forward is a bit, lackluster. Relies a lot on, the Zirkzee type of link-up plays. And Zirkzee himself, like, they're quoting Bayern have a 40 million buyback clause on him. But, if Bologna sell him to external, they're talking about, 50, 60 plus million, which I think he does look like he's worth it. But you've got, like, you need to work. There's a lot of polishing to do there. Like, not technically, because technically this guy is outstanding, and physically. But like, he a couple of times he go into shooting positions, and it was like, not much power in his shots or accuracy. And yeah, like, he likes to roam around. I think he needs to do, if you ever listen to this famous interview of Fabio Capello talking about how he got Zlatan, to become the Zlatan that he was. He said, saw this guy from Ajax, really good technically, like a dribbler, circus tricks. But he said, like, I told Zlatan, like a whole 6 months just after training, Zlatan, shooting session, like, he was obsessed to make him shoot. And I think that's something that Zirkzee needs to go through, because everything else in his game is like really good, but he needs to become an actual striker. But yeah, I digress there. Still a really good player, but Acerbi. And by the way, he said in an interview with the Gazzetta recently, Zirkzee said, asked him, toughest centre back you faced? Acerbi. And who was he were playing against yesterday? Our great Francesco Acerbi. Moving on, and here is the goal. Here's the one that we've been talking about all stream. Carlos Augusto passes it back to Bastoni. Bastoni, the left centre back, crossing it to the right centre back. So in the 3-man, 3-defender formation, the left centre back is crossing it to the right centre back, who's making a run at the back post. Jan Bissek, man of the match, with a great header, heads it into the ground, past Skorupski. Fantastic way that he kind of contorted, got his body in the right shape, because the ball, curled slightly, behind him, and he managed the way to do it. Like, really good header. And not the first time. We know Bastoni, his left foot is just supreme. Probably the best left-footed centre back in football when it comes to these positions, especially. We've seen it over the years, to Barella, to Dumfries, to Bissek now. Like, he's just got this in his bag. No surprise there. But now it's really good to see that Bisek is also adding these because he's a massive Bisek. He's a specimen, so it's really good to see. Really good to see him adding these goals, this goal threat to his game. And speaking of this tactical flexibility that we have, this Inter of many faces, it doesn't matter who's up front, does it? There was this moment here, Thuram. So the guy who's passing it is Thuram. So look at Thuram, he's next to Bisek, and Sanchez is next to them as well. So the two strikers are all the way there. And up front, we've got Acerbi and Mkhitaryan, and you got Carlos Augusto at the bottom of the screen as well. This is, top limoncello, bro. It's just beautiful to watch. Beautiful to watch. Yeah, it's more. It's just I always revert to like a Cockney accent for some reason when I make fun of Prem-tards. I don't know why. Do you reckon the same thing in Aberdeen for some big players leave? Oh, you're talking about the Napoli. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't know. Like this summer, it's worked out really well that so many players left last season. Was it like 10 or 11 players left? Free transfers, contract expired, loans expired, and other sales and things. Bringing in 11, 12 players to replace those. Like usually, that much of a change usually doesn't really work. So you never know. That's what I'm saying. But that's from since we've signed Marotta and we have this, directors at the top. I've always been very confident as long as they're stable, and the fact they've also keep signing extensions, that keeps me. I always say that gives me a lot of confidence. This one was a big chance. You don't see this in the XG. Darmian gets in behind, lovely pass by Sanchez. Darms crosses it in. Their defender almost scores an own goal from it because he's sliding in. Ball could have gone anywhere. Barella was in. Potentially you have a free tap in at the back post there. But yeah, Inter didn't really create too much. But the one big chance we created, well, actually, two big chances we created. The Barella one we missed, but then Bisek takes his other one, and this was another potential one. Quick talking point, Carlos Augusto actually got injured, so he's one of the guys that's in doubt now for the Atletico Madrid game, which is a shame because it's always a good option to have off the bench, both left wing back and left centre back, which is so good to have with Carlos Augusto, who in my opinion has been an easy upgrade on Robin Gosens or Robin Pusens. Very disappointing spell Gosens at Inter. Maybe not fully his fault because his body wasn't the same anymore. But yeah, Augusto to me has been a big upgrade on him. But yeah, Denzel came on, which meant Darmian went to left wing back, and Darmian, as usual, our man that can do it all, the Swiss Army knife. Darmian went to left wing back, and I think he played the whole game at left wing back as well. So maybe them for his start against Atletico because Darmian had to play a full 90 here. Interested to see what Inzaghi does for the Atletico game. And then Bologna, kind of again not really creating any big chances. This one was close. It wasn't a big chance, but it was close. I think it was Stefan Posch here, the right back, driving forward, then shoots, kind of a shoot/cross across the goal. And the camera angle when they showed it from behind it really like almost brushed the post. It was very close. But again, not any open clear-cut opportunities for Bologna. Really good defending by Inter once again. And then talking about different faces of Inter, second half was a completely different Inter, much more deep, much more and happy to be in this type of position, sitting back, 11 men behind the ball. Telling Bologna, what can you do? Show me what you can do. Can you break us down? And the answer was a resounding no. And then the only time they did kind of manage to break us down here was a mistake from Aslani after he came on. They tried to counter us. Again, not really a clear-cut opportunity. Maybe Xerxes actually looking at the screenshot there. Odegaard, who was a former Inter youth player, maybe he's offside there anyway, but still he could have passed it earlier. But again, that's what I was talking about with Xerxes. Very weak shot, trickles into the arms of Zoma very easily. But this is really the only type of opportunities Bologna managed to create, either from our mistake. There was another couple of opportunities like this. Bastoni gave one away. It's still fresh in my mind because I rewatched it today. Bastoni gave a silly ball away, but they didn't manage to create anything. And then there was another one from someone else as well. But that was the only times that Bologna created half a chance. And then this guy, my goodness, the living meme, Klaassen, comes on 30 seconds into his game, tries to win a throw in. It wasn't even a throw in because the replay shows, he's sliding, but I think it is his last touch. But he was so passionate about it. He was so adamant that it should have been our throw in. I don't even know if he was speaking, in Italian to the referee or just shouting something in Dutch or English. Managed to get himself booked. What a guy, man. This guy is going to end up getting a Scudetto. Absolute meme of a player. I don't remember. I don't have one like memorable technical moment. Like I can't, like, if you put a gun to my head and ask me to remember like a pass or a shot or a cross or a skill from Klaassen, I have zero clue. And I've watched virtually almost every game of Inter, and I also sometimes rewatch games, and I don't remember anything from this guy apart from like meme moments like these. What a guy! What a guy! Living the dream. The most random players to play for us, yeah, 100%. He's gonna be Klassen's gonna be one of those like pub quiz questions, or like guess the by the career transfers, guess the player, and they're gonna put like Ajax, Everton, Inter in between. People are gonna be like, what? Who went to Ajax, Everton, and Inter? Like they're gonna be with us. He's gonna be one of those players that's just gonna stump people when you play trivia or like pub quiz or something. And yeah, this is actually another one of those positions where Bologna created something, but because of our mistake. But this was Arnautovic, once again. When we signed him, aside from what we know now in terms of his mental deficiencies, maybe physically, that was my main worry when we signed Arnautovic. And again, it looks like he's pulled his hamstring. So it looks like at least 2 or 3 weeks by the looks of it to me. And he does so good here. He runs all the way back, wins the ball back in a great position, but then pulls up at the worst possible time. And then, Bologna end up having a shot from this. And then Motta cries after he goes down on the floor. Motta was like, oh, yeah, wasting time. But, this guy is actually legit injured. Motta was crying a lot yesterday as well. And I know he was annoying a lot of Inter fans. Which is, the Motta thing is funny because some people consider him like an Inter legend, which I think is a little bit weird. Like he's part of a legendary Inter team, Motta, and he is. I really like players like Thiago Motta, but he was only Inter for like what, 2 seasons. He's definitely not an Inter legend. He's part of a legendary Inter team, and he's never like like guys that get called back. You saw the legends the other day. He's never been like called back to like Inter legends. I've never heard him speak about Inter after he left. He jumped ship first moment. You saw Inter were going down. He jumped ship as first opportunity he got. So I don't like idolize him like that. I idolize him as a player, but not as an Interista. So I don't know why a lot of Inter fans were getting annoyed by him. Because he's linked to Juventus, and I see him. Like I don't think he has any allegiance with Inter. I think he'll, as a professional, which is probably right, he'll jump. If Milan offer him a job and Juve offer him a job, I'm sure he'll jump to the opportunity. Ahmad says, I tweeted out and I'll say it here, we would have been better off if we kept Correa instead of signing Arnautovic. Nah, the Correa we saw last season, if you say Correa that we had in the first season, even though that was not great, but that he was actually useful. But the Correa that we saw last season, Ahmad, he was really useless. And he had his injury. That was a problem with Correa as well. Like that brother would get injured at random times. Like you'll be like, oh, we've got an away game tomorrow. We need to rest Dzeko, Lautaro. He's got a yellow card. Or he's just come back from international duty, and then Correa will get injured in training, or just random injuries. So I disagree with that. Like I know where the bar is really low again, but I disagree with that. Correa is just useless. And what he's done, we saw what he's in Marseille. I thought actually, because I think he is that type of level player. Lazio, Sevilla. That was Correa's career before Inter. So Marseille, I thought, that would be his level. He'll recover some decent form. But I don't think he's even scored a goal for them. That guy's useless there as well. So I disagree. Arnautovic was completely boiling out for Bologna last 2 seasons when we signed them. Yeah, I don't think so. Clafton, Carjal, Rocky. Oh my God, Carjal. That was a random ass buy or loan. And Rocky is a dark moment. That is a dark moment. That's a dark moment in our history. Tommaso Rocchi. But yeah, that was the last screenshot. And then I think man of the match, guys. I mean, unless you guys have someone else other than Bissek, to me it was pretty easy. Bissek was not just because of the goal, he was solid all around. 85% pass accuracy, 49 touches, 2 out of 3 tackles, 4 clearances, 2 headed clearances, 9 defensive action, 5 recoveries, 5 duels won, 2 out of 2 aerial duels. Yeah, he was a beast. He was a beast. Really, really good. And it's a shame. It's a shame that he has Benji Pavard in front of him, because he really has impressed me, and of course he's clearly impressed Inzaghi. And you can tell he's come with a very hungry mindset, attitude, mentality. I really like it, because apparently, he's a very intelligent boy. I mean, you can tell. But I was reading that he was studying or wanted to study to become was it like a doctor or neurosurgeon or something, like, and you can see he's already learned Italian. He looks like a very intelligent guy, Bissek. And Inzaghi talks about him in press conferences. He said like he's like a sponge, Bissek. He's calm and he's just learning off Acerbi, De Vrij, and all these guys, the coaching staff. You can tell he's just, he's not like these young guys. Oh my God, I'm starting to sound like a boomer now. I'm in my boomer phase. I've made it. I got married and now I'm in my boomer phase. Kids these days. But the new generation is, they want to look cool for the Insta, for the drip. Well, actually, Bissek also does that, but you can tell he's got a focused mentality. So it's a shame. It's a shame that he's got Pavard, but also, Darmian, right centre back as competition. But yeah, he was really, really good. Bisteccone, being hungry. Yeah. So bistecca in Italian means, steak. So bisteccone, that's his kind of nickname that he's been given, the big steak. Oh, Eduardo, thank you very much, brother, for the donation. And of course, your continued support. We always appreciate you, bro. And your awful dad jokes and, repeated jokes. But I still appreciate you. Bro, what happened to you? The OG Korea sexual. Again, that was a tag given to me by the guy who doesn't believe in jinxes. Nima Falafel Root, sorry. But I embraced it. But I'm objective. Like, you gotta give me something. If I have to run a shameless agenda, remember with Arturo Vidal, I was running that shameless agenda because he'll give me at least something. Even if he came on, Vidal was useless and overpaid. But that Liverpool game away, or some random team, started against Sheriff in the Champions League and was man of the match. He'll give me something to work with, Arturo Vidal, so I can run a shameless agenda. But Correa was giving me nothing. This guy was just taking from me, and my reputation was in the gutter. So I had to distance myself from that guy. So that's what happened there, bro. That's what happened there. Nima Travafla. That's a good one too. Bissek with a sizzling goal. Yeah, beautiful goal. Super Saiyan goal. Shouts out to, once again, Akira Toriyama. But yeah, guys, we are here at the end of this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. 1 hour 12, 1 hour 13 we've gone for. 75 points, 28 games played. You guys know what's coming. The Capolista se ne va. I'm not going to talk about jinxes anymore. Yeah, we've run away with this league. We've run away with this league. Now it's just about counting down the days so we can officially celebrate the Scudetto, guys. It's just about counting down to that. As I said, if you're able to go to Milano or just do something to celebrate it, you need to make sure to do it. And yes, the focus is now Champions League. Come on, let's continue what we started last year in terms of bringing Inter's reputation back to where it deserves to be, and also helping Serie A along the way. But yeah, Atletico, that's everyone's thoughts now. And yeah, I'll be previewing that game either tomorrow or Tuesday. That's going to be a big one. It's going to be very, very difficult. Yeah, I mean, you mean, yeah, of course. I think it is, because again, maybe I want to talk about it, at the end of the season, but I have mentioned it. For Simone Inzaghi, winning the Scudetto, guys, yeah, and we don't do anything in the Champions League. I'm not saying we need to join the Champions League. It is let down because 3 seasons at Inter, and Inzaghi had to deliver the Scudetto, so it's taken him to the 3rd season. So because of the previous seasons, because it's taken him this long to get to the Scudetto, and yes, of course, the style that he's done it with, in the way that he's done it, of course, the financial difficulties as well, but that's for everyone in Serie A. No one can spend money in Serie A. That's the level playing field that I like about Serie A. But yeah, if you get knocked out by Atletico, that's still, I mean, I'm gonna be loving it, and I wanted this second star more than anything, and I'm gonna celebrate it and make sure to celebrate it properly, as I keep saying. But this is the bare minimum, guys. This is not to like put a dampener on things or being like high standards, but this is really the minimum expectation of Inzaghi was to land a Scudetto. I think his original contract was 3 years when he first signed an Inter, and then he extended it. But this is the competition in Italy, like bloody salami maker and Junior Messias' Milan won the Scudetto last season. Napoli, amazing team, but we're seeing probably a lot of big overperformance last year. That's the level here in Italy. And who's our closest competition this year? This terrorist Juve and Captain America's AC Milan team. Like, that's the competition in Italy. So it's not really like a massive achievement to win the Scudetto in this current Serie A. But again, I'm not downplaying it. I'm just talking about in a totality. If we flop the Atletico game and go out, yeah, it does reevaluate the season a little bit. I can't lie. But anyway, I'm confident about the Atletico game, the way that we're playing. I know they're really good at the stadium, but we're just good everywhere at the moment. So yeah, they're not in great form, Atletico. They're just not been that good last few seasons in general. But they're still a good team. But anyway, guys, good to see you, Rodijan. Thank you, everyone that came through. Really appreciate you. 75 people in the house right now. Please leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. See you for the Atletico Madrid preview. Yeah, la capolista se ne va. Inter 1, Bologna 0. See you on the next one, guys. Ciao, ragazzi. Forza Inter. Second star mission continues, and it's getting closer and closer and closer to completion. Ciao.